VFR approach is Alice, 23 left. Landing runway for VFR aircraft, 23 right. Approach runway, 23 right.
Seeing 23 Apple, take 3, Mark.
Action! Cut! That was great.
When my agent called me about this project, I said, you have to be out of your mind. Who would want to film a movie in an airplane full of passengers? But then I woke up the next morning with this idea about a man who meets his future self and finds the love of his life.
It's a really exciting time for the Virgin brand as a whole, watching the 3 airlines collaborate together in a unified way for one campaign. We were able to really work with them to create a film that was not only groundbreaking, being the first ever film shot at 35,000 feet, but really be able to take a collective vision that all 3 airlines shared, along with the 11 agency, and pull together a narrative story that was not an overt ad for Virgin, but really use the interior of the Virgin Atlantic plane, the Virgin America plane, the Virgin Australia plane, as a character, an organic character inside of a narrative story.
I was approached by our CEO, Jason Feltz, after he had a meeting with the airlines, and he brought me into the conference room and he said, what do you think about shooting a movie at 35,000 feet across our 3 airlines, 3 countries, 4 cities in 8 days? And I said, that sounds great, let's do it. What's great about it is it's definitely the ethos of Virgin, which is, you know, doing something that is groundbreaking, doing something that's trend-setting, doing something that normally nobody else or no other company would try to attempt.
Jake is a regular guy. He's not the hunk that gets the girl. He's just sort of, you know, your average person with dreams that he's having trouble chasing. And he's a romantic, obviously. He's scared and he's not used to to doing things that are sort of outside the kind of box that he's created for himself. He understands that he should be somewhere else, and then he's got so much passion and excitement inside, and he feels kind of lonely, and there's this one moment, this brief moment on an airplane, and time is finite, and he needs to take advantage of his circumstances while he has them, and I think he recognizes that it's sort of do or die.
It's a very bizarre, beautiful, funny, beautiful movie, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it. Who are now making a movie. It's awesome. The way they do everything, it's almost like, this might sound crazy, but it's like a whole nother level. It's like an alien level. It's so spacey and awesome, and they're just cool people, and they've got this whole, everybody's got this awesome energy about them. And this process is so, it's just, I find it really fascinating. I've never done anything like this before, so yeah, I like to view life like this, so it fits just in very well with me.
Normally we like to fool around a little bit and learn our lines and fool around with our characters and just generally have a lot of fun, use up the time, but you can't do that at 35,000 feet when the captain says, yeah, you got like, 18 minutes to do this 5-page scene or whatever. And so it's such a challenge.
It's not like flying on a regular flight because there's more activities and things to do. It's been fantastic as long as you stay well hydrated. Oh, Virgin, and this is not me blowing smoke, I do enjoy Virgin Airlines. Very, very good. And I've flown Virgin, internationally and domestically, and it's nice.
My character is this guy named Frank who owned the deli back in the day that Jake used to come into. And I used to make him, according to him, the greatest grilled cheese sandwiches in the world. That's all he ever asked for. He used to sit in the corner by himself.
Sorry.
Okay, maybe you remember this. Hug.
Okay.
Oh, come on, hug me. Hug. You were so lonely. I used to feel for you. I bonded with your loneliness. Did you know that?
All right.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? You good with that?
Oh, yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Jake. I used to feel really sorry for him, so I give him an extra slice of pickle.
It depended so heavily upon the performances of actors who honestly could not have been better. And not just acting-wise, but better sports. You know, we're shooting in the middle of the night after being up all night and after flying around the world, and every single actor on this project had a smile on their face and was down to do what they'd signed up to do.
When you watch this film, you have to understand that we flew as a group, cast and crew. We left Los Angeles and transferred over to London and turned around in 24 hours, got back on an airplane, and filmed and flew back to LA. We got back, got up the next morning and flew to Dallas, shoot some stuff, get back on the plane, same kind of breakneck schedule. Then the very next day, we flew to Sydney, Australia.
How are we gonna light this? And if it's on live planes, like how are we gonna get people to not open up their windows or ask them to close their windows or not turn on their little overhead lights or get up and go to the bathroom and all these little things that people do on a plane or are expected to do on a plane. The lighting setups had to be done so fast, just light and quick.
He invented lights for the shoot, which was very impressive to me.
And I built these little things out of effectively out of paper and tape and Velcro and diffusion, and I wanted them to be light enough that I could just, with just like a small piece of Velcro, be able to stick it up into the ceiling and be able to have an ability to angle them in such a way. This ended up being a pretty simple, elegant solution because the LEDs don't pull a lot of power. I could put them on a battery pack and just attach that to the dimmer and throw it in the overhead compartments, and I was done.
The other maybe challenging thing about shooting on an airplane was the space and the confinement of the space. We were very limited in terms of which cameras are small enough and more compact enough and ease of use. We used the Canon C300 and that was the bulk of what we shot was on the Canon C300. Everything that we did on the airplanes. There was one day that we went out in Sydney and we did some stuff on the 5D with the Lens Baby. The camera was small, it was tiny, and I could just move really quick with it.
The biggest challenge for the audio as far as shooting that high is definitely the fighting the room tone. You know, where we got all these big engines on there, it just creates this noise floor that is so high that you really have to get the mic in there a lot tighter than you normally do.
I'm the liaison between the 3 airlines, 11 and Virgin Produced, and coordinating all of the details between the 5 parties.
Everyone's just been so sweet and so great, and they're all we're all doing this for the first time together, and we're all learning, and we're all just having a great time.
This is the martini shot. Action. That's a wrap.
Yeah, our approach is Dallas, 23 left. Landing runway for VFR aircraft, 23 right. Approach runway, 23 right.